Ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to explore a topic that is both provocative and deeply reflective. The idea that stop being nice to women is not about advocating for rudeness or disrespect, but about redefining what it means to interact with women in a way that is authentic, meaningful, and grounded in mutual respect. The title of this speech is a call to move beyond superficial niceties and to engage with women as equals, with honesty, integrity, and purpose. A woman who prioritizes authenticity over niceness understands that being agreeable at all costs is not a virtue, it's a weakness. Niceness, when used as a mask, is a tool for avoidance. It seeks to keep the peace, to prevent conflict, to gain approval. But authenticity is something entirely different. It does not concern itself with whether others will like what is being said, only whether it is true. An authentic woman does not measure her words by how palatable they are, but by how necessary they are. Niceness is often mistaken for kindness, but they are not the same. Niceness is performative. It seeks to please, to pacify, to avoid discomfort. Kindness, on the other hand, is rooted in respect and honesty. A truly kind person will tell you the truth even when it's difficult because they care about your growth. A merely nice person will tell you what you want to hear even if it leads you to ruin. A woman who chooses niceness over authenticity sacrifices real connection in favor of shallow approval. She becomes a prisoner of perception, constantly calibrating her words and actions to fit the expectations of others. She suppresses her true thoughts, her real opinions, and even her core values in an effort to be liked. In doing so, she loses her sense of self. She becomes what she believes others want her to be, rather than who she actually is. Over time, this erodes her confidence, because deep down she knows that the approval she receives is not truly for her, it is for a carefully curated version of herself. A woman who prioritizes authenticity does not fear disagreement. She understands that truth often comes with resistance. She does not seek conflict for its own sake, but she does not avoid it at the cost of her own integrity. If something is wrong, she says so. If a boundary is crossed, she enforces it. She does not apologize for having standards, for expecting respect, or for holding strong opinions. She recognizes that the people who value her honesty are the only ones truly worth keeping around. Niceness makes a woman easy to manipulate. Those who recognize her need for approval will use it against her. They will pressure her into compliance, knowing she is too afraid of seeming rude or unkind to say no. They will exploit her willingness to please, draining her energy, her time, and even her resources. An authentic woman, however, cannot be controlled in this way. She knows that saying no does not make her a bad person. It makes her a person who respects herself. The cost of prioritizing niceness is resentment. A woman who constantly suppresses her true feelings to maintain harmony will eventually grow bitter. She will feel unappreciated, taken for granted, unseen. She will wonder why people do not reciprocate the same level of care that she gives. But the answer is simple. She has trained them to believe that her needs are secondary. She has communicated through her endless niceness that she expects nothing in return. Niceness dilutes relationships, making them surface level and inauthentic. A woman who is always agreeable does not foster genuine connection. She fosters obligation. People feel comfortable around her, but they do not feel deeply connected to her because they never truly know her. Authenticity, on the other hand, invites depth. It allows for real conversations, real challenges, real growth. It filters out those who only value compliance and strengthens bonds with those who value truth. A woman who embraces authenticity understands that not everyone will like her, and she is at peace with that. She knows that universal approval is an impossible and meaningless goal. She would rather be respected by a few than tolerated by many. She would rather speak her mind and lose superficial friendships than remain silent and betray herself. She recognizes that true self-respect is built on the foundation of honesty, not on the fragile acceptance of those who demand she shrink herself. Niceness is a short-term strategy. It creates the illusion of harmony but often leads to long-term dissatisfaction. It allows problems to fester, dishonesty to thrive, and resentment to build. It makes confrontation seem catastrophic because it has been avoided for so long. Authenticity, however, prevents this cycle. It ensures that issues are addressed as they arise. It demands accountability. It creates an environment where honesty is not feared but valued. A woman who prioritizes authenticity also understands that not all conflict is harmful. Disagreements, when handled with honesty and respect, lead to stronger relationships. They clarify misunderstandings, expose weaknesses, and build trust. Niceness avoids these necessary confrontations, leaving issues unresolved. An authentic woman embraces the discomfort of difficult conversations, knowing that growth does not come from avoidance, but from engagement. Niceness is fragile. It shatters the moment it faces real pressure. It crumbles when tested. It relies on constant approval to survive. Authenticity, on the other hand, is unbreakable. It does not depend on the fleeting validation of others. It stands firm in the face of rejection. It does not fear being misunderstood because it is not built for approval. It is built for truth. A woman who prioritizes respect over placation understands that true dignity is earned, not given. She does not beg for approval, nor does she water down her thoughts to make others comfortable. She does not seek to pacify people at the cost of her own integrity. Placation is a weak substitute for respect. It may temporarily avoid conflict, but it ultimately diminishes a woman's value in the eyes of others. Respect, on the other hand, is built on consistency, strength, and an unwavering commitment to personal truth. Placation comes from fear. A woman who constantly appeases others does so because she is afraid of rejection, of conflict, of being seen as difficult. She believes that if she keeps everyone happy, she will be accepted. But in reality, she is not truly respected. She is tolerated, perhaps even liked, but she is not valued. People do not see her as someone to be taken seriously because she has never required them to. A woman who demands respect does not lower herself to excessive agreeableness. She understands that a respected person is not the one who bends at every request, but the one who holds their ground when it matters. She does not say yes when she means no. She does not apologize for things she is not sorry for. She does not prioritize peace over principle. She understands that people may be uncomfortable with her boundaries, but she refuses to betray her. Placation invites exploitation. Those who recognize a woman's need to please will use it against her. They will take her kindness for weakness, her agreeableness for permission. They will push limits, knowing she will not push back. They will demand more and more, and she will comply, believing that this is how she maintains relationships. But in doing so, she teaches people that her needs are secondary, that her voice is optional, that she exists to accommodate. A respected woman does not entertain such dynamics. She does not allow people to take advantage of her willingness to listen, to care, to give. She knows the difference between generosity and self-sacrifice. She does not confuse being pleasant with being powerless. She communicates her expectations clearly, and she does not negotiate her self-worth. She understands that those who truly respect her will never ask her to compromise herself for their benefit. Placation weakens relationships, even though it appears to strengthen them. A woman who constantly appeases others may seem easy to get along with, but deep down resentment festers. She suppresses her true feelings, her true opinions, her true needs. Over time, she feels unseen, unheard, unappreciated. She may eventually lash out, surprising those around her who never realized she had unspoken grievances. But the issue was never the other people, it was her own unwillingness to demand respect from the start. A woman who prioritizes respect fosters deeper, more honest relationships. People trust her because they know where she stands. They may not always agree with her, but they value her clarity. They do not have to guess what she truly thinks or wants because she is unafraid to communicate it. She does not suppress truth for the sake of harmony. She embraces truth as the foundation of real connection. Placation is exhausting. It requires constant monitoring of how others feel, constant adjustments to avoid discomfort, constant self-editing to maintain approval. A woman who lives this way will always be emotionally drained because she is not living for herself. She is living as a reflection of what others want her to be. A respected woman does not carry this burden. She allows others to feel however they feel without making it a responsibility. A woman who values respect over placation understands that not everyone will like her, and that is acceptable. She does not take it personally when people disagree with her or push back against her boundaries. She recognizes that people-pleasing does not create real security, it creates dependence on external validation. True confidence comes from standing firm in one's values, not from being agreeable at all costs. Placation leads to regret. A woman who spends her life accommodating others at the expense of herself will one day realize that she has built a life that does not truly belong to her. She will see that the choices she made were not her own, but rather the result of what she thought others wanted. A respected woman does not face this crisis because she has always lived according to her own convictions. She does not wake up one day wondering where her identity went. A woman who seeks respect does not force it, she earns it through action, consistency, and self-respect. She does not demand that people treat her well while tolerating poor treatment. She does not complain about being undervalued while constantly seeking approval. She leads by example, showing others that she is someone who values herself, and in turn, others learn to value her.